ತಾರೆಗಳಾಗಲು ಸುಭಗ ಸದಾಶಯ ಸದ್ವೃತ್ತ ಜಗದಗಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹರಡುತ್ತ ಮುಗಿಲೆತ್ತರ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಜಗದಗಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹರಡುತ್ತ ಮುಗಿಲೆತ್ತರ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಇರಲಿ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯ ವಿಜಯವು ಸುಬಲಾರೋಗ್ಯವು ಸದಾ ಶೀಲದ ವರದಾನ ಶೀಲವಂತರ ಮೇಲು ಪಂಕ್ತಿಯೇ ಜೀವನ ತೇರಿನ ಅಭಿಯಾನ ತನ್ನೊಳು ಲೋಕವಲೋಕನೆ ತನ್ನನು ಕಾಣುವ ಭಾವವೇ ಏಕಾತ್ಮ ಚಂಚಲ ಮನವ ನಿಶ್ಚಲವಾಗಿಸಿ ಕಾಣುವ ನಿಶ್ಚಯ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಕಾಣುವ ನಿಶ್ಚಯ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಸಜ್ಜನ ಲೋಕದ ತಾರೆಗಳಾಗಲು ಸುಭಗ ಸದಾಶಯ ಸದ್ವೃತ್ತ ಜಗದಗಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹರಡುತ್ತ ಮುಗಿಲೆತ್ತರ ಮೇರಲಿ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಇರಲಿ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಸುತ್ತಲ ಪರಿಸರ ಕಾಣುವ ವಿಶ್ವವೇ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತನಿಗೆ ಸದ್ಗುರುವು ಕತ್ತಲ ತೆರೆ ಮರೆಯಾಡುವ ದುರ್ಗುಣಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಉತ್ತರವು ಕೇಳುತ್ತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತ ಅನುಭವಿಸುತ್ತ ಹೃದಯದಿ ಸನ್ನಡತೆ ತನುಮನ ನಡೆನುಡಿ ಭಾವಿತವಾಗಲಿ ಅಕ್ಷಯವಾಗಲಿ ನಾಮರಿಕೆ ಅಕ್ಷಯವಾಗಲಿ ನಾಮರಿಕೆ ಸಜ್ಜನ ಲೋಕದ ತಾರೆಗಳಾಗಲು ಸುಭಗ ಸದಾಶಯ ಸದ್ವೃತ್ತ ಜಗದಗಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹರಡುತ್ತ ಮುಗಿಲೆತ್ತರ ಮೇರಲಿ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಇರಲಿ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಮಾತಾ ಪಿತರಿಗೆ ಕಲಿಸಿದ ಗುರುವಿಗೆ ಅತಿಥಿಗೆ ವಿಜರಿಗೆ ಹಿರಿಯರಿಗೆ ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ ನಮನವು ದೇವರ ಗುರುಗಳ ವೃದ್ಧರ ವೈದ್ಯರ ಪದತಲಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿಯೋಜಿತ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯರು ಸೋಲು ಗೆಲುವಿನ ಸೋಪಾನ ತಪ್ಪನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಒಪ್ಪನು ರಚಿಸುವ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿ ನಡೆಯುವ ಅಡಿಗಳಿಗೂ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿ ನಡೆಯುವ ಅಡಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಸಜ್ಜನ ಲೋಕದ ತಾರೆಗಳಾಗಲು ಸುಭಗ ಸದಾಶಯ ಸದ್ವೃತ್ತ ಜಗದಗಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹರಡುತ್ತ ಮುಗಿಲೆತ್ತರ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಇರಲಿ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಇರಲಿ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ ಇರಲಿ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯು ಅನವರತ धीं धीं तनना धीं धीं तनना धीं धीं तनना तननना तननना तन तननना तन तननना 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 तन तननना नमो नमो सुमने नमो 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 सुमने नमो ದೇವಭಿಷಜತ್ವಯನಿಗೆ ನಮನವೋ ನಮನವೋ ಸುಮನದಿಂದ ತೀರ್ಥರೂಪಗೆ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞಾತಗೆ ಅತ್ರಿಸುತಯತಿ ರಾಜಗೆ ತೀರ್ಥರೂಪಗೆ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞಾತಗೆ ಅತ್ರಿಸುತಯತಿ ರಾಜಗೆ ಚರಕ ಸುಶ್ರುತ ವಾಗ್ಭಟಾದಿ ಆರ್ಷಗಣ ಮುನಿವರರಿಗೆ ಆಪ್ತವಚನದ ಆತ್ಮದರ್ಶಕ ರೂಪ ನೀಡಿದ ಭಾಷ್ಯಕಾರಗೆ ರೂಪ ನೀಡಿದ ಭಾಷ್ಯಕಾರಗೆ ನಮನವೋ ನಮನವೋ ಸುವನದಿ ನಮನವೋ ಭಾವಮಿಶ್ರಗೆ ಶಾಂತಧರಗೆ ಭೇಷಜದ ರತ್ನಾಕರನಿಗೆ ಭಾವಮಿಶ್ರಗೆ ಶಾಂತಧರಗೆ ಭೇಷಜದ ರತ್ನಾಕರನಿಗೆ ರೋಗ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಹಲವು ಹುಡುಕುತ ಹೇತು ತೋರಿದ ಮಾಧವನಿಗೆ ವಿಪುಲ ಜ್ಞಾನವ ಅಂಶವಾಗಿಸಿ ಚತುರಮತಿಯ ಸಂಗ್ರಹೀತಗೆ ಚತುರಮತಿಯ ಸಂಗ್ರಹೀತಗೆ ನಮನವೋ ನಮನವೋ ಸುಮನದಿಂದ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಕಲಿಸುತ್ತ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಹರಡುತ್ತ ವೈದ್ಯ ತಂಡವ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಕಲಿಸುತ್ತ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಹರಡುತ್ತ ವೈದ್ಯ ತಂಡವ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ ಸಕಲ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಮೆರಗು ನೀಡುತ್ತ ದಾರಿ ತೋರಿದ ಯಾದವನಿಗೆ ಬಾಳಿಗೊಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆಯನು ಬಿತ್ತಿ ಪೊರೆದಿಹ ಪರಂಪರೆಗೆ ಬಿತ್ತಿ ಪೊರೆದಿಹ ಪರಂಪರೆಗೆ ನಮನವೋ ನಮನವೋ ಸುಮನದಿ ನಮನವೋ ನಮನವೋ ಆದಿವೈದ್ಯಗೆ ದೇವಭಿಷಜದ್ವಯರಿಗೆ ನಮನವೋ ಆದಿವೈದ್ಯಗೆ ದೇವಭಿಷಜದ್ವಯರಿಗೆ ನಮನವೋ ನಮನವೋ ಸುಮನದಿ ನಮನವೋ ನಮನವೋ ಸುಮನದಿ
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। अश्विनायज्वरीरिषोत्रवत्पाणि शुभस्पति पुरुभुजा च नस्य तम् अश्विना पुरुदं ससानराशवीरया धिया धिष्ण्यावनतं गिराः तस्रायुवाकवः सुताना सत्या वृत्तपर्हिषः आयातं रुद्रवर्तने। हरिः ओम्। हरिः ओम्। यथा वातः पुष्करिणीं समिङ्गयति सर्वतः एवाते गर्भ एजतु निरैतु दशमास्यः यथा वातो यथा वनं यथा समुद्र एजति एवात्वं दशमास्य सहावेहि जरायुना दशमासां शशयानः कुमारो अधिमातरि निरैतु जीवो अक्षतो जीवो जीवन्त्या अधि। हरिः ओम्। हरिः ओम्। हिरण्यये अरणीयं निर्मन्थतो अश्विना तं ते गर्भं हवामहे दशमे मासि सूतवे। हरिः ओम्। हरिः ओम्। गर्भं धेहि सिनीवालि गर्भं धेहि सरस्वति गर्भं ते अश्विनौ देवा वाधत्तां पुष्करस्रजा। हरिः ओम्।
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. Welcome to Women Health Education Program conducted by Ayurveda Academy. Myself, Dr. Deepika, welcomes you all again to this February month's Women Health Education Program. We have Vaidya volunteer Babita Rao and Vaidya volunteer Meghana with us today to share their insights about the topics. Are you all ready for today's session? Are you all ready with book and pen so that you can note down important points and so that you don't miss important points, you don't forget it later? Are you all ready with it? Okay, Akanksha Rathore is ready. I have a question. Shall I turn off my video too so that I can talk to only to the computer? If no, I want you all to turn on your videos so that the presenters can look into your faces and talk to you more lively. Please turn on your videos so that I can see your faces and talk to you comfortably. I audible enough to everyone and the screen is visible too. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Medha. I hope to see everyone else's faces soon. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So before we get into the session, I have few things to share with you all. Yes, of course, it's about the topic we are going to discuss today, and it is something that seems to be trivial yet significant enough to have a huge impact at the level of an individual and at the level of a society mass. There is one lady, old lady, Ajji. Uh, she often visits to our clinic, not as a patient, but to sell flowers. Okay, so whenever she comes, she doesn't only sell flowers, but also she talks about her family, her problems, uh, and that's her way to release her stress, her emotional burden. And that poor Ajji, old lady, is very hardworking and genuine at heart. So I freely lend my ears to her stories every time she comes. And this time, when she visited, she had a lot of things to talk about her new granddaughter in law. And she even had a complaint, big complaint about her granddaughter in law who just got married and joined her family as a new member. When I heard her complaint, initially I thought, is it even a complaint? Or this Ajji is literally overreacting over the silly reason. That's what I thought initially. I'll tell you what was her complaint in brief. Her daughter-in-law, she talks freely, openly about her periods, about her periods, menstruation, in front of everyone in the family, and she even doesn't hesitate to make her husband to bring sanitary pads to her. So this Ajji had complaint over this. This Ajji being born in maybe around 1950s, 1950s probably, I'm not sure. She couldn't accept this from her granddaughter in law, who is born around 2001 or 2. Actually, this Ajji was struggling to realize the fact that these things are not tabooed anymore. These are not prohibited to talk anymore. This Ajji was literally struggling to accept this fact. So she thought it is a problem. And then she talked few things about her family and she left. But this conversation with that Ajji reminded me of my experience in 2009. In 2009, it was my first school health education program as a Vaidya volunteer at a girls' high school on the topic menstrual health. So I had prepared well for my presentation and I started my presentation as, let's talk about periods. And you know what? As soon as I uttered that word periods, all the all the teenage girls of that school started behaving weirdly. Like they started whispering to their friends sitting next to them. They started feeling anxious. They started feeling awkward. Even that awkwardness was seen obviously on their faces. And they started murmuring, they started smiling. They couldn't even give me the eye contact. They held their head low and they started feeling embarrassed. So that made me think like, oh my god, what have I done? Did I talk something bad? Did I talk something that is prohibited to talk here? Should I stop the session? All those things started running in my mind. But of course, I didn't stop there. I continued my presentation as per the plan, but and also I tried to make them feel comfortable. I did my best to make them feel comfortable with what I was presenting, but it didn't work that much. Okay, so when I asked few questions related to the topic, none of them were ready to answer, because just because they were embarrassed to answer such questions in front of everyone. So this was my experience in 2009. And when I think of recent times, that is when we went to again a girls high school recently, for to give a talk on menstrual health again, I realized that my experience is different this time. None of them were shy, none of them were awkward, none of them were felt like embarrassed to talk about these things. In fact, they were all ready to explain whatever they already know about the topic. They were so interactive. They just asked few questions also, their personal questions also, in front of everyone. So that that moment I realized that a lot of things have changed with the time. And this change, this socio-cultural shift, is a good news for us, isn't it? It's a good news. In a way, it is good. Let me give you an example. We might have heard or we might have seen women in olden days used to hesitate a lot to come to a doctor whenever she had menstrual health issues or reproductive health issues. But now that is not the case. Every woman, mostly all the women, speaks about her personal issues like health issues, menstrual issues openly with doctor and even with other male community, and even the male community also accepts these things very well. At least when compared to olden days, it's better now. So in that aspect, it is very good actually. This shift has brought a good news. But this same socio-cultural shift uh, has got another face to it, which is neither good to an individual nor to the society. I'm talking about the misinterpretations, the misconceptions, the myths about menstrual health that are vastly spread across the social media today. And I'm talking about uh, tagging of negative social beliefs along with the women health. Let me give you an example. Um, the necessity of physical rest during menstruation for a woman is has been misinterpreted as a threat to her freedom, as a threat to women's rights, isn't it? So, this is just one example I could think of at this point of time. There are many such misinterpretations going on everywhere now, and the social media, which plays a major role in influencing younger generation these days, plays a contributory role in spreading these misconceptions across the world. So, and talking about marketing industry, they never want us to know the truth completely, isn't it? They always want us to be scared of many things, because only then we buy their things, right? So that's their technique. They are very good at encashing our fears, our insecurities that are rooted from our lack of knowledge about truth. And this bitter truth about marketing industry is very hard to be revealed to the people, because people get offended when we try to do so. uh, yes, that is good that a girl today, a girl can easily openly can talk about her periods, her pains, her pads, her menstrual cup usage, all those things openly in front of everyone, thanks to the creative advertisements. But at the same time, these girls, when if she goes to a doctor, and if at all that doctor advises her to be on rest during her periods, she feels offended. She feels offended because her freedom, she feels like her freedom is grabbed out. Her freedom is at risk with these kind of social outdated social beliefs. Recently, you know what happened? One of our volunteer was invited to a school, high school, to give a talk on menstrual health for high schoolers. And there, she was shocked to see how strongly those young children, that two young girls, believed that it is okay to have pains during menstruation. It is normal to have one or other discomforts during menstruation. They believed in it so strongly that our volunteer had to put a lot of effort, took a lot of time in convincing that this is a clear misconception. And to tell you, it is not about few students, it's not a story about few students at one school. We are witnessing these kind of misinterpretations happening everywhere in different forms, and it is quite fast spreading. And in my view, it is not less than any pandemic. So, and we are sure with this kind of negative belief system, we are not heading towards true health and well being, isn't it? Do you all agree with me? So, what to do? Unfortunately, the sad part is, willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or unknowingly, we all are part of it. We all are part of this misinterpretations spreading everywhere. So, what to do? This is high time we all need to think upon our roles and responsibility in bringing up the truth as it is in front of the future generations, so that they get to know about the truth. Okay, so our future depends on them, because they are going to believe what truth they are taught, and they are going to live their lives on based on that belief system. So with these thoughts, I would like to remind all of us, including myself, about our responsibility in knowing the science, in realizing the truth behind principles of health, and pass it on to the next generation. Women health education program, school health education program, Ayurveda, etc., are our sincere efforts towards our responsibility. With this, I would like to hand over the session to Vaidya volunteer Babita Rao, who is a practitioner at Bangalore, to take us to the first session, today's first session, that is menstruation, a privilege. Over to you, Dr. Babita Rao.
Just a minute, I'll share my screen. Hope the screen is visible. Is the screen visible?
Not yet.
No, doctor. No, doctor. Um, just a minute.
Now it is visible.
It's visible.
No, it just disappeared.
Okay. Now it's visible, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, it's visible. Namaste all. In today's session, we will see menstruation, a privilege. Under that, we will study menarche care. ಸೊ ಋತುಮತಿ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಏಜ್ ಯಾವುದು? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಶುರು ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ? So it usually varies as per the individual. Generally, practically, when we see, it is 11 to 14 years. One year ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಸರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಋತುಮತಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಪ್ರಥಮ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ರಜ ದರ್ಶನ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ರಾವಕಾಲ ಅಥವಾ ರಜ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಿ ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಋತುಮತಿ ಆಗೋದು ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. So, what is this? Why is it so important? It's celebrated. So much education is given about this part of life. Why? Why is it so important? Because it is very, very important milestone of the growth in women's life. ಇದು ಅಡೋಲಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಯೂಬರ್ಟಿಯ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಚಿಹ್ನೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮೆನ್ಚುರಲ್ ಸೈಕಲ್, ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಇದೆ. ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ it goes on. So a cyclic pattern in arambha, appearance of first menstruation or bleeding. So it denotes a healthy reproductive stage of women. So this time period between menarche up till 45-50 years, up till menopause, ಮುಟ್ಟು ನಿಲ್ಲೋವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು fertile period ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So, as the definition of the stri itself, sthayati ismat garbha iti stri, the one who is able to bear a healthy child. So, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗರ್ಭಧಾರಣೆಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆಕೆಯೇ ಸ್ತ್ರೀ. So, it means that if she is able to bear a healthy child, ಅಷ್ಟು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಆಕೆಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕೆಯ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್, ಜನರಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್, ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಲ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಡಿನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸುತ್ತೆ. 11 years na nantara we call rajaswala athwa fertile. After 12 years there is dhatu paripurnata, proper development into a woman. So all the dhatus, all the organs, everything is expressed well through this menstruation. So if it starts right from the age of 8-9 years, like the different signs of menstruation, roma raji utpatti, development shuru agate. If there is no any such signs, even after like 12-13 years, or there are very early signs, it is it's the time to meet Vaidya for proper guidance. So we saw in the first slide ಬೇರೆ factors influence ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ factors. When we practically see and collect from some data, we can gather few influencing lifestyle, then prakriti. Prakriti determined during the conception itself, the self nature. We usually have tendency to have certain qualities based upon this prakriti. Then desha, is it a coastal land? Is it a dry land? That definitely influences our development. kala. It might be the season where we are staying to what seasons more ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಹೇಗೆ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವಾಗಿದ್ದೀವ, ಏನಾದರೂ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಅಲರ್ಜಿ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ತರ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳಿಂದ ಸಫರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಾಡಿ ವೀಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಕುಲ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಒರಿಜಿನ್, ನಾವ್ ಯಾವ ವಂಶ, ಟ್ರೈಬ್, ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಟು ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಯಾವ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ಅದೇ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಘಾತ, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫುಟ್ಬಾಲ್ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಹೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಯುಟರಸ್ ಇರೋ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಏಟ್ ಬಿದ್ದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಅಥವಾ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಆಘಾತ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ಸ್, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಆಘಾತಗಳು, ವ್ಯಸನ. ಸೊ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೀ ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. There are few habits that can cause bad impact, like late sleeping, drinking lots of water, skipping meals. So there are some bad impacts, such habits. Indriya upabhoga, so senses, these days we see our eyes, our ears are exposed to many unwanted contents that affect our manas. Also in turn that affects our development, Sara. So each one of us are predominant in one of the nutrition type, depending upon the predominant nutrition in our body. Depending upon that, the development changes. Dinachari, vyayama, sadvrutta, do we respect our urges or we withhold it? So all these are compiled and told as kala and karma. The kala, the perfect fertile period, and the karma, it might be present life or previous life. The karma, like what kind of food we eat, what is our routine, anything that we do is karma. Same thing, ahara and achara. Achara is nothing but the karma, and ahara, how we eat, when we eat, what we eat, are we able to properly metabolize it. So here I have elaborated for easy understanding. So for example, if there is present days we eat lot of seedless fruits, so it might impact on our fertility, on our menstruation, or there might be contaminated food, chemical, medicine, hormones, etc., which might prepone our menstruation. So either way it is not good. The body mass index, if somebody is smoking in or around the house, the exposure of the child. So similarly all these things affect the age of menstruation or the fertility period. So here, this is the real-time graph from different research articles. ಈ ಸೈಡ್ ನಾವು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಕಲರ್ ಬಾರ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಓದಿದ್ವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಟಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ 12 years, ಇಂಡಿಯಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 12.5 years, in Germany it's 13.5 years. On the right side line ತರ ಇರೋ graph, it indicates how the menstrual age is decreasing upon years. In 1990s only it was 11 years from around 16 years. Now presently after 20 years we see even 8-9 years girls start their menarche. And as we see the last graph, usually it is between 11 to 14 years majority of the girl attain their menstruation. So what are the do's and don'ts between this 3 to 7 days during bleeding? This also varies as per the individual. As we see in the picture on the right side, it is a cycle. So it's not just take care during this bleeding period. ನಾವು ಇಡೀ ತಿಂಗಳು ನರಿಶ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ನರಿಶ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬ್ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಕಾಣಿಸೋದು ಆ 3 to 7 days. ಇಡೀ ಮಂತ್ ನಾವು ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಬರೀ ಈ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಶುಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು, ರಜಸ್ವಲಚರ್ಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆನ್ಸುರಲ್ ರೆಜಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಶೋಧನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ natural purification of women. It's similar to that of shodhanas we do in panchakarma. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂದ್ರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು, ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪಂಚಕರ್ಮ, ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಶೋಧನ ಡೆಲಿಕೇಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಬಾಡಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ನ್ಯೂಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಎಗ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ತುಂಬಾ ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಪುನಃ ನಾವು ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬೌಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಫುಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಚಲ್ದಿರ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಕೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸಿಮಿಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ರಣಿತ. ಹೇಗೆ wounded ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಲ್ವ, ಇವಾಗ ಜ್ವರ ಬಂದಾಗ ಯಾರನ್ನಾದ್ರು ಹೆಂಗ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ವಿ ಗಿವ್ ದೆಮ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಫುಡ್, ವಿ ಟೆಲ್ ದೆಮ್ ಟು ರೆಸ್ಟ್. Similar, it's very simple, we take care ourselves like that. So why is it important? For maintenance of equilibrium, doshagala samanate, agni, metabolism, digestion ಆಪ್ಟಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್, ಬಲಕ್ಷಯ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಅನಿಮಿಕ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಸೊ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ವೈದ್ಯ ವಾಲಂಟಿಯರ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ pain and discomfort during menstruation, is it normal? Do you all agree? But these days we are seeing it, but it's a big myth. Present day, all these symptoms, headache, back pain, cramps, so many things, PM, so many things are attributed to menstruation, but it's not correct. We are not following all these regimens which I mentioned. We are not following this, so that's why we are suffering. This might be one of the possible reasons. So let's not sit back thinking that I'm menstruating, I have pain, or I take pill, or I just sit in the corner, get depressed. No, it is not correct. That's not what menstruation denotes. That's a hindrance we have created to ourselves. Then, as mentioned, let's see what all the charya includes. It's not new. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ already ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದೇನೆ. Just brushing up so that we try to follow them. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಚರ್ಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋದು, ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಅಡಲ್ಟ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ದರ್ಭ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದರ್ಬೆ, ವೆರೈಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಗ್ರಹಣದ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಶೋಧಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಶೋಧಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅ ನ್ಯಾನೋ ಪ್ಯಾಟ್ರನ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್, and it's very good. It maintains general health in any bleeding disorders like nose bleeding or piles bleeding or menstrual bleeding. It helps us. Food ಹೇಗಿರಬೇಕು? Havishya, that means the dish prepared from shali rice, ghee and milk. I have seen many girls complaining, we are in hostel, what to do? It's very easy. The principle ಅದೇ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ತುಪ್ಪ ಅನ್ನ ತಿನ್ನಿ, ನೀವು ಬೇರೇನು ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಜೀರಾ ರೈಸ್, ಜೀರಾ ತಡ್ಕ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಿನ್ನಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಹೆಲ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್. ಹಾಲು ಅನ್ನ ತಿನ್ನಿ, ಬಾರ್ಲಿ, ವೀಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅರ್ಧನ್ ಪಾಟ್, ಯಾಕೆ ಅರ್ಧನ್ ಪಾಟ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಫ್ರೆಶ್, ಈಚ್ ತಿಂಗಳು ನಾವು ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು, ಡಿಸ್ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇಟ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಗೆಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ಕ್ರಿಮಿಗ್ನ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದಲ್ದಿರ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ನಾನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ತಿನ್ಬೋದು. ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಫುಡ್ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು. ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಖಾರ, ಹುಳಿ, ಉಷ್ಣ ಬರುವಂತದ್ದು ತಿನ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಸೇಮ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಟು ಇಟ್, pichila, the slimy, very cold food, for example, pani puri, curds should not be taken because the above food, it increases the bleeding, and the pichila, shita food, it does thambana, it doesn't allow normal flow. So at the end, the mantra is same, hita and mita bhojana, as per our requirement. Then how should be our thoughts? What should we do during menstruation? So we have to always think positively and auspicious thinking. Kalyana Dhyayini. One of my sir used to tell during menstruation, keep thinking positive things happen in the world, good things happening to people, good things happening to you. It's the most potent period to think positively. So that's why they have called Kalyana Dhyayini. It's better to avoid jewels and heavy jewels, etc., and be in comfortable clothes. So how should be the dinacharya? So since the skin is the largest organ, when we take bath, do abhyanga, definitely there is some disturbance in the homeostasis. We also tell that there is a kind of vata, pitta, kapha, ellanu ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧಿಷ್ಠಿತವಿದೆ. ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನರ್ವ್ ಎಂಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಸೇಮ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಯೂಟರಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಸೇಮ್ ವಾತ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಲ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So disturb agate mechanism. So it's better to avoid for being more healthy. So we can follow all hygienic procedures, washing, etc. And next thing is, we know that nose and eyes are potent route to deliver anything. ಸೊ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಕಾಡಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮೂಗಿಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಹಾಕೋದು, ನಸ್ಯ, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಇನ್ನು ದಿವಾಸ್ವಪ್ನ ಅಂತೂ ಸರ್ವತಃ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ವಿರುದ್ಧಾನೆ. ಯಾರು ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಹಗಲೊತ್ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೂರ್ಯೋದಯದ ನಂತರ, ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ, ಸೂರ್ಯೋದಯದಿಂದ ಸೂರ್ಯಾಸ್ತದವರೆಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಕಾಲ್ ಚಾಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ವ್ಯಾಯಾಮ, ಸೊ ಮೈಲ್ಡ್ ಓಡಾಡೋದು ಊಟ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಥವಾ ತೀರಾ ಜಂಪಿಂಗ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರೇನ್ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಗುಡ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು, ತುಂಬಾ ನಗಾಡೋದು, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿನ್, ಸಣ್ಣ ಓಡಾಡೋದು, ಅಳೋದು, ಸೌನಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಈ ತರ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಪಂಚಕರ್ಮ ಥೆರಪಿಗಳು ಸಹ ಈ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟೆಡ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಈ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ನಾವು? ಸೊ ದ ಮೇನ್ ಏಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಸಮಾನತ. ಏನು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಎಫರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೆಟಬಾಲಿಕ್ ಇಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ವಾರ್ಮ್ ಫುಡ್ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು. ಲೋಕಲ್ ಪ್ರದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಹಚ್ಚೋದು, ಹಾಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಧೂಪದಿಂದಾನು, ಗುಗ್ಗುಳು ಧೂಪದಿಂದಾನು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟರೀಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ರಿಯೂಸಬಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ನೀಮ್, ಟರ್ಮರಿಕ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗೋಮಯ ಗೋಮೂತ್ರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಚುಂಕಿಸೋದು. ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಆ ಶೋಧನ ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೇಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಹೊರಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆನ್ಸುರೇಷನ್ ಮೆನಾರ್, ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು aid the body to get adjusted and to get detox and also not to get too much weak. ಸೊ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೃಂಹಣನೂ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಏನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ದಿನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂಟಿನುಂಡೆ ಕುಡ್ಸು, ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಕುಡ್ಸು, ತುಪ್ಪ ಕುಡ್ಸು, ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಕುಡ್ಸು ಆ ತರಾನು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಅತಿ ಕರ್ಶನ ಬರೀ ಪೆಪ್ಪರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿಸು ಈ ತರಾನು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮೈಲ್ಡ್ ತೀಕ್ಷ್ಣ ಇರುವಂತ ಶೋಧನ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಆಹಾರ ದ್ರವ್ಯಗಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗು, ಪೆಪ್ಪರು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿಸಿನೀರು, ಬೆಣ್ಣೆ ಜೀರಿಗೆ ಬಿಸಿನೀರು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಜಾಗ್ರಿ ವಾಟರ್. ಇಫ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್, if any requirement, if there is scanty bleeding, we can consult vaidya and take some medicines like panchakola, which can be taken with ganji, etc. After 3-4 days, when the bleeding little miles, then we can give balya, antinunde, ಮೆಂತ್ಯಲೇಹ್ಯ, ಕೊಬ್ಬರಿ ಇಂಥದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ನಿಂತ ಮೇಲೆ ದಿಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ make the girl child very special, celebrate this milestone, give her the insight about the importance of this stage. So let her get well dressed, worship God, light colored garments, etc. ಏನಿದು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅಂತ ಏನಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಬಿಸಿ ಊಟ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತುಪ್ಪ ಹಾಕಿದ ಊಟ, ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ನಮ್ ಹೆಲ್ತಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಗಳಿಂದ? ವಾಟ್ ಸೋ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಋತುಮತಿ ಚರ್ಯ? ಕಾರ್ಯಕಾರಣ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ. ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಆಹಾರ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಲ್ವಾ, ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಈಟ್ ಸೊ ಈಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ನಾವ್ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆರ್ತವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯೋನಿ ವ್ಯಾಪತ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೈನಕಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಡಿಸಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ನ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿಲಿ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಸಫರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೆವಿ ಬ್ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಪಾಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ, ಟ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸು, ಸಿಸ್ಟ್, ಬ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಂಡರ್ನೆಸ್, ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅವಾಯ್ಡೆಡ್. ಇಟ್ ಎನ್ಹಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲಿಟಿ. ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು 4 ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ನಾವು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಜಮೀನ್ ಉಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಿಡ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಫರ್ಟಿಲಿಟಿ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಗು ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ 4 ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ ಏನ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲಿಟಿ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೀಜ ಏನು ಓವಮ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನರಿಶ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಜನರಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಸಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ತುಂಬಾ ಓಡಾಡೋದು, ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲಿ ಆಗುವಂತ ಇಂಜುರೀಸ್ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗುಡ್. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಲಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್. ಇಫ್ there is any problem, let the child express. ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ಮಗು ಹೀನಯೋನಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂಡರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್. ನೌ it is getting completely developed. Give that child what is important, what she should appreciate, and what is deviation, when she should approach parents. Then only the child can come out with if there is any problem, right? So it can be treated or corrected early. For example, the bleeding quality. What is the good sign? The blood should be reddish to maroon, not too bright or dark, no clots. It should be good flow, no pain, no burning, no discomfort, no any mood swing. But if there is dushti, any variation, for example, if there is vata dushti, irregular periods ಇರುತ್ತೆ, cramps, pain, cranky, ಪಿತ್ತ ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಉರಿ ಉರಿ ಆಗೋದು, ಎಮೋಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಹಾಟ್ ಫ್ಲಶಸ್, ಕಫ ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಸ್ಲಗ್ಗಿಶ್ ಸೋಂಬೇರಿ ಸೋಂಬೇರಿ ಆಗಿರೋದು, ಬ್ಲಾಟಿಂಗ್, ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಸ್, ಅನ್ಮೋಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್. So our aim is to produce super women, those are very happy and not hindered by their menstruation. So during menstruation the rest is very necessary so that they are very healthy. I would like to end my talk by telling that it's in Acharya tells that at the end of women care, follow your own tradition, your grandmom, your mom, or your village, your mother-in-law, somebody, everybody who is elder in your home, they will know it is designed as per where you are staying, what food you are getting, what problems your family generation wise they face. As per that they would have designed something. Please do follow it to be more healthy. Thank you. Let's discuss if there is any doubts.
Thank you, Dr. Babita. The session is open for discussion. If you have any doubts regarding this topic, you can ask.
ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್
ಹೇಳಿ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಅವರೇ.
ಹಾ, ಇದು ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಈಗ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಸವರ್ ಮತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ತರ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫುಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಹೆವಿ ಇರತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸಿ ದ ಹೋಲ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ದ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಇಸ್ ರೆಡಿ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸೈಕಲ್. ಸೊ ಹೇಗೆ ಇದು ಅದು ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ?
ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ರಿಪೀಟ್.
Can you repeat the question, please?
ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ನನ್ನ ವಾಯ್ಸು?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸರಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ನೋ.
I'll repeat your question.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ವೆಶನು ಅಂದರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಈ ರಸಗಳು, ಸವರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಲ್ಟಿ ಫುಡ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಲೋನ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತನಾ?
ಹಾ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಹೆವಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಹೆವಿ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ತುಂಬಾ ಪಿಕ್ಕಲ್ಲು ಆತರ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ. ಬಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಇರೋದು, ಸಿ ವಾಟ್ the blood is going to come out during the menstrual cycle is already collected and that is formed during the 28 days from the previous state, andre ade cycle alli it is formed. So ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ will it ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೀಕ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತಾ? ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇರತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ?
ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ, ಈ ಮಂತಿಂದು ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಸ್ ನಡುವಿನಿಂದಾನೇ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವ್ ಏನ್ ಇವಾಗ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಸೈಕಲ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಫ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ದ ಫರ್ಟಿಲಿಟಿ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಈ ತಿಂಗಳು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಆಹಾರಗಳು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಇಡೀ ತಿಂಗಳು ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನೇ ಇವಾಗ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫುಡ್ ಅದೇ ಫ್ಲೋ ಇನ್ನ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನು ನಮ್ದು ಬೇರೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಸಮಾನ ಗುಣ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಪಿತ್ತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಆಹಾರಗಳು. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ದ ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಓಪನ್ ಅಪ್ ಮೋರ್, ಶ್ರೋತಸ್ಸುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದಿನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಗತ್ಯಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಮಾನಿಟರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಆನ್. ಅದು 1-2 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಹೆಲ್ತಿ, ನಿಮ್ದು ಅಗ್ನಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೆ ಇದ್ರೂ ಲೇಟರ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
To add on to her point, actually we can think of two things happening, influencing by our food at two different stages. One, in the formation of that menstrual fluid before that comes out, the quality and the quantity of formation of that menstrual fluid gets affected by our regular food. Another thing is the day when we get our periods, that is menstrual flow, that day whatever we eat, however we have our lifestyle, that also influences the expulsion of that menstrual fluid out of our body. So this also happens because nowadays people like use their freedom to have everything just in the name of my freedom, it's my wish to have everything, I'm not I should not be controlled by others or this kind of beliefs. ಸೊ ಹುಡುಗಿಯರು ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವುದು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಆ ದಿನಾನು ಏನೇನೋ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತಿಂತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ they'll end up in doing certain physical exercises in the form of either sports or dance or some other activities. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ದಿನದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಷನ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾದ ಆಹಾರ ತಗೊಂಡಿರಬಹುದು, ದ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ is good now, but the expulsion part that is not happening right because on that day or the nearing to the previous day or the nearing days to the menstrual cycle, she is not following the right dinacharya or right food habits, then she might end up in having pain while ಮೆನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಯಾವುದಿನ್ನೂ ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸಿವ್ ಬ್ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಪೇನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಂಫರ್ಟ್, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಆಗಬಹುದು.
ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ ಆರ್ ಟೂ ಜನರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ವೆನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವರ್ ವೆರಿ ಅನ್ಕಂಫರ್ಟಬಲ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್, ಈಗ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ದೇ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್, ಸಿ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೈ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಸ್, ಐ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋ ಡೂ ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಅದೇ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಆಸ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ person who is doing, oh, our sports at there, they want to go cycling, I also want to go. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ just the gang is doing peer pressure ಇಂದ ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಫೀಲ್. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ನಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮಿಗೂ ಆಗ ಹಂಗೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ಇದು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ. ನಮ್ಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ ನಾವು ಬೆಳೀತಾ, ಈಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದೂ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್.
Question many parents have, this is the concern many parents express, that we know the reason, we know what to do, how to care during menarche, just like our mothers did for us, I want to do it for my daughter, but she is not ready to listen to my words, she is not willing to uh, get through that phase. So for the answer for this question or this problem lies in parents, in two things mainly. uh, One, in parent and children relationship throughout entire 12 years or before her menarche, because if she trusts her parent very much, if she has that kind of relationship, casual and honest relationship with her, that kind of free bonding with her parents, then she can freely talk to her parents and let them know what is she is having or she is going through, her emotion, her logical thinking, all those things. And even those peer pressures, they can't handle it, so that's why they behave in that way, especially in that age. So if we being parents provide them a safe and friendly atmosphere, then not just during menarche or around the menarche, it should be from the beginning. Then only they can feel safe and they can feel free to express their emotions, their whatever they are having in their minds. So this is one thing. Second thing, you need to understand your child's basic principle, like whether they are logical thinkers or emotional thinkers, these kind of thing. If they are more towards logical thinking, then you can give them the reasoning, right reasoning, the truth about uh, the science behind all these menstruation, the menstruation care, all those things. And then once they understand the fact and once they realize that this is good, this is bad for them, then they can do it, then they can actually put a step towards doing it. And with little support here and there to handle peer pressures and all, we can definitely make them listen to these things. So I think we all parents should think of that before even our children, that is our girls, get into menarche stage. Before that, we have to establish a friendly relationship with her so that we can talk about these things prior to things happening like this.
Thank you, doctors.
Okay, we have a few questions in chat box. Among them, I'll take Deepa's question. After menarche, for how many days simple food? And when to start balya food?
So usually we consider up till bleeding stops, or else up till the bleeding miles. Usually the bleeding might be heavy on first day, second day, third day. Fourth day onwards, it might be light. So from fourth day onwards, we can start with the balya food. So in some children, it might be from third day itself. The third day itself, the bleeding might be mild. So it varies 1 or 2 days. We can take if the child is changing some 2 3 pads. Now it's just very less bleeding in the pad. Then we can start with the balya food. Now there is complete. The shodhana is almost complete.
Okay. The other question, it's about menstrual cups or tampons. That question will take it in the chat box right now because it is going to be a big discussion. And of course, we are going to deal with such questions in upcoming sessions about in this series, menstrual health. So don't worry, Amal Ajit will get back to you. Is there any other questions related to menarche care? Okay. So I hope everything is clear for everyone, and let's move on to the next session. So before we go into the next session, let's prepare ourselves for the next session, okay? By attending a simple quiz. Are you all ready? It's it was a good experience last time when we did quiz here. We got very good response, so we thought of doing it again. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, let's see the questions and let's try to answer, decode the answers for that. So this is the question, first question. The main source of our energy or strength is dash. Rohini Shri has raised her hand, so you can answer.
It's a sun.
Main source of energy or strength.
Carbohydrates.
Okay, let's see others answers. Okay, Lavanya.
For strength or proteins, energy for energy carbohydrates.
Okay.
Uh,
Any other
um,
answers?
it is directly food. Our source of energy is food.
Food. Food. Even my answer is food, doctor.
Okay. I accept your answer food, but do you have any adjectives to be added with the food? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಸೇರಿಸ್ತೀರಾ? ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫುಡ್?
Balanced food. Proper diet.
Balanced diet, doctor.
Balanced.
Balanced diet. Okay. Anything else?
The proper balanced diet.
Proper balanced diet. Two adjectives. Okay.
Diets.
Anything
Seasonal
else?
food
Fats
planned
and
according to
carbohydrates.
season.
Sattvic food, ma'am.
Sattvic food.
Sattvic
Okay.
food.
Seasonal food, sattvic food,
Fats and carbohydrates.
fats and carbohydrates. Okay.
Freshly cooked food.
Freshly cooked food. Okay. So let's see our answer. It's nutritious food. Do you all agree? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's see the next question. Actually, before going to the next question, we have let's see what science say. Studies say that many disorders, women disorders nowadays, like impaired menstrual cycle, anemia, cardiovascular diseases, underweight, overweight, osteoarthritis, diabetes, all these things are mainly due to malnutrition in the women. And the statistics say India is the largest contributor of undernourished people in the world. So you can see the statistical report. Of course, the figures may vary from time to time. This is what I got immediately when I searched in the internet. So the question is why malnutrition and diseases caused by it is still a social crisis in India. Your options are poverty and lack of food, quality of Indian food, nutritional deficit in the Indian food, lack of awareness about nutrition requirements, lack of facilities to provide early assessment and guidance about nutritional deficit, social and economical status, or anything else. Who wants to take this question? Savita or Heli?
Fourth and fifth, ma'am.
Fourth and fifth. Okay. Anuradha ಅವರೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್?
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6. Okay. Any other answers we have? You can tell your options also.
Only social and economical status, lack of awareness about the nutritional requirements, and quality of Indian food.
Okay. Anything else?
Only number 4, lack of
One.
awareness of
First one.
nutrition.
First one.
First one.
Okay. Okay, let's see what was the right answer for that question later. Can you name few foods that have high nutritional value?
Cereals and grains,
Okay.
vegetables, fruits and vegetables,
Okay.
milk and milk products. Milk,
Okay.
milk. Okay.
ಗೀತಾ ಅವರು ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಹೇಳಿ.
Nuts, madam.
Nuts. Okay. Okay, we
Eggs.
got many answers. Anything else? Okay, let's take another question. Can you name few foods that are colorful, flavorful, tasty, addictive, and has very low or zero nutritional value?
Junk.
Yes, junk food. Okay.
Gobi.
Okay. Gobi. Anything else? Why no response? Was that question that difficult to answer?
Fast food, doctor.
Fast food, okay.
ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫುಡ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ.
Okay.
ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತೆ.
Fried food.
Okay.
Deep fried. That made of maida and bakery items
ಮತ್ತೆ
and salad and uncooked vegetables. Yeah.
and
Okay.
the food cooked before 6 hours.
Yes. Okay.
Refrigerated food.
Yes. That is also true.
Lemon rice.
Bakery items.
Okay. Why lemon rice? Papa? Okay, it is colorful, flavorful, tasty, addictive. That is why it is, you named it
Yes.
here.
Yes, ma'am.
But it should also satisfy it has very low or zero nutritional value.
Uh,
Is it so?
I think so.
Just
No,
because it
madam.
doesn't contain any vegetables or any protein source, it is, you consider it as
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Okay. So
But we will be adding for that groundnuts and oil, turmeric, and lemon juice. It will
yes,
be having nutritional value also. I think coconut also we will use.
yes.
Okay.
And it can't be a zero nutritional value food because rice itself has so many nutrition in it, and we are just thinking in one way, I guess. So that's why we named it here. So let's think about it, some more points about it, and let's ponder upon it. So next question, every individual's nutrition requirement is different, true or false?
True.
True. Has anyone
True.
okay, anybody answer it as false? No, right? Okay, so the answer is true. Yes, every individual's nutrition requirement is different. Every individual's Next question, every individual's nutrition requirement keeps on changing with his or her age, digestion and metabolism, physical condition, physical activities, place of living, lifestyle, etc. True or false?
True, madam.
Okay, so we don't have anyone who answers it as false, so it's true. Okay, so whoever answered as lack of awareness about nutrition requirements as the cause for being malnutrition being still a social crisis in India, do you really think there is lack of information, lack of awareness about nutrition? Of course, it could be there in extreme rural areas where none of the technology is yet introduced. Apart from those specific areas, other than those areas, do you really think there is lack of awareness? Do you think there is lack of facilities to provide early assessment? We actually have at least one or two laboratories in every areas, in every cities, and there is uh, like poverty and lack of food. I don't think that is also an answer for this social crisis being still at this point of time, because um, Nowadays there is a lot of opportunity to find things. Government also has given lot of opportunities to provide nutritious food at different levels, at schools, at anganwadis and different centers also. So we have to cross check our answers for this question, right? So the required nutrition is there in the food in raw form or non-functional form, we can call it as. Now the question is, who will bring this nutrition to functional form to you, to an individual? This is the question. I hope the question was clear. Should I explain it again?
Pre and probiotics in our digestive system.
Okay.
The Ayurvedic Vaidya can bring the awareness.
It is not about bringing awareness, it is bringing that nutrition present in the food, in the raw form, to the functional form, transforming it into the functional form inside our body, individual's body.
Intestine.
Okay, intestine.
Rules of food intake.
Sorry, come again.
Dr. Agni.
Okay,
Yeah,
who
rules
told
of
Agni?
food intake. Nutritional value of the food. That is the how to take it at a timely food. What is the limit and things like that. Which is good for whom?
Okay, that's good. Who told Agni?
Me, doctor.
Okay,
So
Jyoti
it
and Deepa.
transfers from raw to functional form.
Yes, I think you got the concept right. Actually, it's our Agni, because we all are eating. Now, I ask you a question: how many of you having any form of nutritional deficit in this group? Any form of nutritional deficit, like it could be calcium. You must be taking calcium supplements or vitamin B12, vitamin D, all those things. None of you?
ಜನರಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
How did you come to that conclusion?
ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್ ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಡಿ ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ.
Okay, why do you think that is the case? India is a temperate area, right? We
That
have
was the
good
main
amount of
question for me
sunlight
as
and
well.
all. Sorry,
Even I was wondering the same thing actually. Even I was thinking like, how can it be?
Okay, at least in this
ಅದು
platform.
ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಟು ಗೆಟ್
ಎಸಿ ರೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು, ಮನೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋದು.
Okay, so the thing is, the nutrition required is there in certain things. Maybe it is in the form of food source, or in the form of sunlight, or in the form of some other things. And that nutrition should reach us to do the job, its job, right? So that transformer who brings that nutrition into functional form in our body, in our individual's body, that is our Agni. So let us not forget about our Agni. No matter whatever we think, whatever the reason we hear a lot from outside, we should not forget about our Agni. So let's see another question. A man of 35 years does a lot of research and handpicks food that have high nutritional values and eats only healthy home cooked food every single day. He is very particular about his diet. But he is suffering from irritable bowel syndrome. That is, frequent loose stools with indigested food in the stools soon after eating. Do you think this is a possible scenario? He is eating right, he is only eating home cooked food, he is only having high nutritional value food, all those things. But then he is suffering from this condition. Do you think this is a possible condition?
Yes, possible.
Anyone
Possible, ma'am.
thinks that this is not possible? Okay, no one is there. So if yes, your answer is yes, it is possible. What could be the reason? What is he probably missing to cross check?
Maybe he is not um, taking the food at the proper time. Means
Okay.
when he feels hungry, then only he has to take the food.
Yes.
ಜಠರಗ್ನಿ ಮೇ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಹಿ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಫುಡ್.
Okay.
It's not digesting properly. I mean,
That's one right answer. Anything else?
ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಿರೋಂತ ರೈಟ್ ಫುಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್.
Okay, that is also one right answer. Anything else?
ಟೈಮು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ.
Okay. Again, another right answer. Anything
ಮತ್ತೆ
else?
ಹಿಂಗೆ ತಗೋತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
Sorry, come again.
ಕುಕ್ಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅನ್ಕುಕ್ಡ್ ಆ ತರ.
Okay.
ಯಾವ ಏರಿಯಾಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸೀಸನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ.
Okay. That is again one more right answer. Okay, there are many right answers for this question. So that's great. Let's see another such case. Okay, this is a story of 45 years old ambitious woman working in a bank. She had developed knee pain, and when examined, doctors said it's an early stage of osteoporotic changes, and it's because of vitamin D deficiency and calcium deficiency. So she started having the supplements for few months as suggested by the doctor, and she was happy as her pain gradually got reduced too. The story doesn't end here. After about 2 years, she again got knee pains. She got her blood tested again for calcium and vitamin profile, and to her surprise, they were low again after 2 years, in the span of 2 years. So, what do you think why this happened to her? Do you think she should take the supplements lifelong? Do you think she is not having enough nutritious food? What is your answer?
ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಸಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸ್. ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಸೆಡೆಂಟ್ರಿ ವರ್ಕ್, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತಿಂದಿದ್ದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಆಗದೆ ಈ ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅಗೈನ್ ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಅಗೈನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಗೈನ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಗಿಂತ ಮೇಯ್ನು ತಿಂದಿದ್ದು ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
Okay.
ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ದೇನೆ just relying on supplement will not help.
Okay, what kind of lifestyle should she adopt?
All the things like food habits, exercise, activities.
Okay.
ತುಂಬಾ ಹೊತ್ತು ಎಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಜರ್, ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆಗೋದು.
ಓಕೆ, ಎಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನೆಗಡಿ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು. ವೈ ದಿಸ್ ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ?
ಮೇ ಬಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದಾಗ್ಬೋದು.
The reason, maybe one of the reason is she is at the stage of ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆನೋಪಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. So absorption of calcium and vitamin D, it's low at that stage.
Why do you think it will be low during that stage? Is it a rule?
Hormonal changes
may not
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
be may not be a rule. Few people they face that kind actually after 45 years. Menopause stages ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಂಡಿ
Yes, I
ನೋವು
agree
ಹಾಗೆಲ್ಲ.
the statistics. Many of menopause women who are having menopause, who are nearing to menopause, have this kind of deficiency or problems. That I agree. But what is the reason that is causing these problems?
Hormonal changes ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
She is
Okay.
not taking enough nutritional food also.
Okay.
Lifestyle.
Proper sleep, lifestyle, for no exercise for her legs. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂತೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
Hmm.
That might be one of the reason.
Okay.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಭ್ಯಂಗ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರುನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
Proper
ನೋವೆಲ್ಲ
care ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ.
Okay. So I think we have prepped ourselves well for the next session through this quiz. So let's see what we are going to learn in the next session. So I hand over the session to Vaidya volunteer Meghana to share her insights about secrets behind nutritious food.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. It's almost 3:15 right now. By this time, all of you have completed your lunch. I believe that all of you have completed your lunch. So, how many of you were very happy that you had a nutritious meal today? And how many of you are sad that you did not meet your nutritional requirements today? And how many of you just ate to fill your tummy? These three concepts let us keep in our mind and move on further. And try to find out the answer by the end of this session. So, first, let us know what is food. Presently, they consider food is that substance which is consumed other than water or drugs like medicines with the intention of maintaining health and well being of the individual. Similarly, Ayurveda considers food as ahara, and ahara is that which does not only undergoes proper digestion but also yields nourishment to the tissues of the body and when properly assimilated. Moving on to the concept of nutrient, presently they consider the those active components of the food which determines the quality of the food and also the health of the individual. For example, proteins, carbohydrates, fats, minerals, etc. And according to Ayurveda, nutrients are those components which are present in food, which does not only does the nourishment to all the seven said tissues, that is like blood, bone, or muscle like ಮಾಂಸಖಂಡಗಳು or ಮೇದ, that is the ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೊಬ್ಬಿನ ಅಂಶ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು, etc. And upadhatus, that is subtle tissues like hairs or the ligaments, ಸ್ನಾಯು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಸಂಧಿಗಳು, ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವುದು ಪೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And the concept of nutrition is agreed same by both. That is, nutrition is a branch of science which deals with the study of the process where the food we consume we should go properly digested and nourish our body. So, currently, people think that man is a mass of protein built upon minerals, protected by fat, energized by carbohydrates, and activated by vitamins. And they even say the daily requirement of each component in man. Is it true? Is it true that we are components of protein, minerals, fats, and we are also being seeing that advertisement saying one should consume proteins in the grams as that of their body weight. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಎಷ್ಟು ತೂಕ ಇರ್ತಾನೋ ಆ ತೂಕದಷ್ಟೇ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಅವನು ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಸೇವನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 50 kgs ಇದ್ರೆ 50 grams ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್, 60 kgs ಇದ್ರೆ 60 grams ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ ಈ ಥರ. ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟ್ರೂ? ನಾವಿದನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ? ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್, ಮಿನರಲ್ಸ್, ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್, ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇನ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದಷ್ಟೇನ ನಮಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು? This can be answered once we see the concept of Ayurveda. Ayurveda agrees the same concept but with a different explanation. Under the Lokapurusha Samyavada theory, that is, how the things are present in man, similar is the things presented in the universe. ಅಂದರೆ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ಗಳಿದೆ ಅದೇ ಥರ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾನವನ ಶರೀರದಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಅದಿರೋ ಸಿಮಿಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. For example, if you consider fire as a component in environment, the function of fire is to burn and break down things, is considered as function of fire. Similarly, if you consider digestive fire breaks down the food, burns up the food and helps in proper assimilation. So here both fires, that is the environment fire and the digestive fire, are having the same function. Keeping this in mind, Ayurveda gives 3 concepts mainly to understand this and apply this. First among them is the rules and regulation which we should adopt in our daily lives in order to make the food which we consume properly undergo digested. And the rules being Ushna, that is we should consume hot or warm substance, Snigdha, that is we should consume a nutritious substance, etc. Moving on to the first one, that is Ushna, that is consuming hot or warm substances. We have been hearing that when we consume hot or warm food, that is when the food is prepared and we consume it when it is warm or hot, it tastes better than when we consume it when it goes cold, right? And this concept of Ushna holds good when we consider digestive fire as Agni and with the properties of warmth and hotness. Similarly, the Ushnamsha of the food gives the has the qualities of warmth and hotness. Thus, when you consume hot or warm food, it helps the digestive fire to properly go through the process of digestion and also the proper absorption, assimilation of the food. Hence, the proper digestion also helps in breakdown of food, which provides strength, energy, growth. Moving on to the second one, that is Snigdha Unctuous. ಸ್ನೇಹಾಂಶ ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಇದು ತುಪ್ಪ, ಬೆಣ್ಣೆ, ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಸ್ನೇಹಾಂಶವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ನಿಗ್ಧ ಆರ್ ಅಂಚಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಈಗ ಹೋಮ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೋಮದ ಕುಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಪ್ಪ ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಚಮಚ ಹಾಕೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೋಮಕುಂಡದ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಉರಿಯುತ್ತೋ, ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಟು ದಿ ghee enhancing the fire during the rituals when properly used, Sneha enhances the digestive fire. And once the digestive fire is enhanced or ignited, its proper function occurs, in turn helping the process of digestion. It is also, the Agni is also important for to bring upon growth, nourishment, color in persons. Moving on to Matravat, that is appropriate quantity or balanced diet. Imagine yourself going to a marriage festival and you are sitting in the lunch row and they have served many variety of dishes to you on the plantain leaf, and after consuming it you'll return home. Once you return home, you'll be having discomfort like heaviness, your abdomen will be blown out and you'll be feeling heaviness and sleepy for some time. This shows that there is increase in kapha dosha in your body. On contrary, when a food which you don't like much is placed in front of you, you eat a very little quantity of it, by which after some time you feel hunger again. By this, vata and pitta dosha gets aggravated in your body. So, in order to maintain all three doshas in equilibrium, you have to always consume appropriate quantity of food so that all three doshas will be maintained, and as doshas are the basic principles of the body. Next, moving on to Virya Aviruddha. Virya are considered to be the active potency of the substance like Ushna or Shita and etc. like this. And Aviruddha refers to which is not contrary. Thus, consuming the food in combination of the compatible food, always the compatible food must be combined together while having the food. For example, you cannot mix hot steaming rice and cold curd and eat it, or you cannot put honey to the hot water and drink, or any hot preparations. Similarly, if any non-vegetarians are there, for them drinking milk soon after eating fish or taking chicken with curd, these are considered to be incompatible. And there is a concept that we should always eat at appropriate place with all the culinaries required, and we should neither eat too fast nor too slow. Neither should we talk while having our lunch, nor should we laugh, and we should always eat for ourselves with full satisfaction. By eating too fast or too slow, or while talking, if we eat and laughing, the food may enter wrong passage, and by eating slowly, we may not observe the quantity of food we consume. Thus, the appropriate rules must be followed while eating the food. And moving on to the concept of satmya, that is congenial food, the food which we are accustomed to is considered as satmya. Under this, we can consider three headings, that is desha satmya, food congenial to place, and ritu satmya, food which are congenial to season, and ajanma satmya, that is food which are congenial to us since birth. Moving on to the concept of Desha Satmya, that is food congenial to place. The food substances are particular to some area of region. Like some in some areas, mangoes are grown widely, and in some areas, orange are grown widely. So we should consider the place of origin. I, being a Mysorean, when I want the consumption of sour or sweet and vitamin C requirement, and the what we call now, I would choose orange, which is grown surrounding to the Mysore area, like in Coorg or etc. That it will be more helpful to my body, and my body absorbs it more fast, instead of selecting the kiwi which is being imported from China or Australia or any other countries. And moving on to Rutu Satmya, that is food congenial to season. So, food substances which, like some of the fruits or vegetables, grows at a particular season, and it should be consumed at that particular season only. Like consuming this jackfruit, which will grow in the autumn or summer season, it is suits the best. But if they create any artificial environment and make this jackfruit grow in winter season, consuming it does not help our body or does not give the same effect on our body. Instead, it hampers the process of digestion. For example, in last session, one of you had asked that can we consume the pulses which are grown like which are more common in this season, like last month winter season, and will that not cause any harm to us? Actually, pulses are said to cause increase the vata dosha in body. But if you follow the seasonal regimen, that is the regimen of Shishira Rutu or Hemanta Rutu, which says consumption of unctuous substances because of the increased digestive fire. So usage of unctuous substances along with the pulses in right quantity and at the right time will yield the benefit of the particular pulse which is grown at that particular season. And moving on to Ajanma Satya, that is the food substances which are congenial since birth. The food substances which we are consuming since our birth. If anyone comes and says, please stop eating ghee or butter as it might cause heart diseases or increase cholesterol levels in your blood or increase your weight. It's actually not true. The ghee or the butter which we are consuming since birth will be accustomed to us, but eating it in a right way and the right pattern also matters. Mixing ghee with the cold food substances or eating it more than required, these might cause those problems, but eating it in the appropriate quantity at the right time at the right way does not yield any problem. Moving on to the concept of Shadrasa, that is six tastes, inclusion of all six rasa or tastes in our diet is said to be the best for health promotion. The six rasas being Madhura, that is sweet, Amla, sour, Lavana, salty, Katu, pungent, Tikta, bitter, and Kashaya, astringent. The first one being Madhura Rasa, the sweet taste yields the nourishment to the body tissues and sense organs. It is pleasant to mind. It said to increase the strength. It is good for hair and skin, promotes the healing ability, and provides soothing effect. It also relieves the tiredness, and it is also said to cause worm infestation. And moving on to Amla Rasa, that is sour taste. Sour taste is said to be a good appetizer, promotes energy, sharpens mind, promotes strength, enhances the process of digestion, and strengthens the heart. Lavana Rasa, that is salty taste. It is known to improve the taste, as we all know. Also, it promotes the digestion, improves the moisture content in the body. It is a best laxative, cures stiffness or obstruction, and softens the body parts. The Katurasa is a good appetizer, helps in absorption of consumed food. It alleviates the intestinal worms, promotes wound healing capacity, removes any obstructions or fight against skin disorders, and also is said to reduce fatty tissue. Tikta rasa, that is bitter taste, is said to be a good appetizer and digestive, cures tastelessness, and it is antihelminthic, relieves the burning sensation, thirst, etc. It provides firmness to muscle and skin, scrapes away unwanted tissue, dries up the moisture content in the body, and also it is said to promote the intelligence. Kashaya rasa, that is astringent taste, which is the last rasa, it is said to be constipative, promotes fracture healing, dries up the body, helps in fluid absorption, scrapes away unwanted tissue, purifies blood, and it is also said to be a pain reliever. So each rasa is having its own contributing factor and its own functions. So can we consider any one rasa which is required by our body? That is like if we have a fracture, let us consume more of kashaya rasa, and if we have more of fat, let's consume katu rasa. Can we do that? If we consider Vata as V, Pitta as P, and Kapha as K, if you see this chart, nowhere is the three doshas in equilibrium state. In any one of the rasa, you can see equilibrium. In all rasas, there is either increase of dosha of either of the dosha or decrease of either of the dosha. So, in order to maintain the equilibrium of all three doshas, we have to include all six rasas in our diet. If you consider this wooden plank as your body and this rods as your shed rasas, by taking it into account, if you consume all in your food, then your body might stand stable. But when you miss any one, or when you consume one oftenly and one in occasionally, your body's stability might get lost, and the body will have to suffer with some of the conditions. And our basic Indian meal are of this type and is said to be the best example. For example, the rice we consume makes up the sweet taste, and the rasam which we prepare out of tamarind makes the sour taste, which also contains salt and the spice from the pepper, and the curry leaves which we add gives the bitter taste. If in case there is bitter, you cannot make any curry out of bitter things, or this thing, you can add curry leaves to the rasam. The curry leaves which you add to the rasam will gives the bitter taste, and inclusion of curry or what we call palya of bitter taste may gives the tikta rasa or bitter taste, and at the end the buttermilk gives the kashaya rasa or astringent taste. Thus, this makes the our meal, that is our South Indian typical meal, has all six sadrasas. Thus, instead of searching for proteins etc. elsewhere, it is beneficial to follow the Shatrasa Yukta Bhojana, our basic meal, in the right way by following the rules and regulations said earlier, and also considering the concept of Satmya. So, before ending this session, I would like to tell you a story of a lady, 45 years old lady, who used to sit home ideal, and once like while she was walking, she got knee joint pain. She consulted the doctor, and examinations were done, and for confirmation, a BMD, bone mineral density test, was done, which showed low calcium levels in her blood, and also the bones showed the low calcium level. Thus, she was prescribed with some supplements. Then she went home and she was tense that she was following all the food, she was taking all food items, but still why she got this, and thought of searching in Google about the food which can increase her calcium levels. And surprisingly, she got to know that what she was consuming daily was in the list of calcium food which increase calcium levels. But she was worried. Now she was worried. Then, though consuming so much food which contains calcium, then why did my calcium level go down? Later, she sat for a while and started thinking, and she started analyzing herself. She came to know that her bowel pattern was not normal, and she was having hard stools, that is, she was constipated, and her food pattern was not normal, and she used to consume very little amount or a very more quantity of food, and that too when it was cold, and she was not including any of the snigda articles in her food, fearing for the obesity or heart diseases or increase in cholesterol. Again, she made her pattern of eating right, and followed all the pattern of eating, and considered the Satmyahara and Shatrasayukta Bhojana, which was said now. And after a few months, again she went to the same doctor as her pain was had come down, and surprisingly, the same when the same BMD test was done, her calcium levels was normal, and the doctor was also shocked by this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Meghna. I hope many of you had a thought when we revealed the topic that uh, today we are going to discuss about secrets behind nutritious food. Many of you might have thought we are going to tell what kind of nutrition is present in what kind of dravyas or ingredients, what kind of dishes we should eat for what kind of nutritional deficit. Those kind of things you might have expected from this session, right? Is it so? Actually, we didn't try to trick you by not telling those things, because uh, those information are readily available everywhere. You can just Google it and you can just know everything, because that is kind of definite thing that will be there, available all the time. But the thing that we don't realize, that we don't understand behind nutritious food is one thing, that is Agni, our Agni. And another thing is the way we eat any kind of food. So these things are not emphasized anywhere else, and probably it is ignored, probably it is not considered as the main thing, but for us that is the main thing. Whenever a patient or any person talks about nutritional deficiency and its effect, its post effects, we think of, first thing we think of Agni, because everything else they would have checked before coming to us. Everything else, that is, it could be laboratory test, it could be the symptoms that they are having right now, all things they must have checked before coming to us. So we need not check them again. But what they would have missed is checking their Agni Shakti. And even if they know about their Agni Shakti, it is not so simple when it comes to nutritional deficit, because uh, if I'm having good hunger at regular intervals, and if I'm passing stools at regular intervals every day, then I think my Agni is good. That's all. So, yes, it is true, but it is only the superficial fact. Digestion and metabolism happens at different levels, and whatever we think that getting hunger at right intervals, getting bowel movements at the right time, is just are just superficial levels wherein digestion, we are checking the digestion and metabolism. Other subtle things uh, that is happening inside our body, we might have missed it. And that is why, even if we are having complete meals, nowadays we don't think, at least in this platform, how many of you think we are having low nutritious food every day, every single day? We are not having like that, no. We are very specific about, if you are here, means you are specific about your health, your family's health. So you must be taking care of the choices about the food that you cook for you and your family, right? So even then we might end up in having nutritional deficit, only because we are not focusing on our Agni. If our Agni at subtler level is not doing its work properly because of so many reasons, then also, no matter how much ever you eat nutritious food, no matter how much you eat the supplements, it is not going to help you recover from it. If even if it helps, it could be only for temporary time being. The permanent results you won't get without attending the Agni. So that is one thing we wanted to emphasize through this session. If you know about your traditional food, if you know what is accustomed food for your family, for your tradition, for your place, and if you have been eating it consistently, then that must be enough for your nutritional requirements. Of course, other factors also we should consider, like your physical activities, your work environment, and your state, physical state, age, and all those things. Of course, that is there. But don't just run behind calcium, don't just run behind protein, carbs, don't try to focus only on those things, because that can give you a mislead information about yourself, about your body. Because nowadays there is a vast spread fear called as food fear. Like just now we had lemon rice labeled under low nutritional value food. So that is another thing. Just now I searched, and yes, it was there on the internet also, that lemon rice is not good for good in, under the terms of nutritional value. So that is there, spread everywhere. So it is kind of misleading, just if we see only on carbs, proteins, and other things, fat, all those things. If you look into other parameters also, like our Agni, our uh, prakriti, our nature, our place where we live, our place where we work throughout the day, all those things also play a very important role in getting the nutrition requirement required by us. It is individual specific. If someone else is having that lemon rice or some other dish and they are getting nutritional deficit, that doesn't mean it should happen in our case also. It might have happened for some people because of some other reasons also, and they just it shared their experiences about that particular item, and it became a very fast spreading news over the internet. So that is not the case always. So don't just look on nutritional value of certain food, any food. Don't just go by the calculation of this much protein, this much all those things. If you are having a regular accustomed food to your, according to your place, according to your age, according to your physical activity, then that will be sufficient if your agni is maintained well. No matter even if you are at the stage of menopause or some other physical stage, if your agni is proper, if you are having proper food with all the rasas, then you need not worry about nutritional deficit. Most of them won't get like that. ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಗಮನಿಸಿದೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಹಳೆ ಕಾಲದವರು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2-3 ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರೆಗೂ they didn't have these kind of problems coming. Only after maybe in 10-20 years ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ನಿಂದ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎದ್ದು ಎದ್ದು ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಮೋರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆನ್ಸಸ್ about nutritional deficiency. Why this is happening now, in spite of lot of improvement in education, improvement in technology, improvement in facilities provided by government and all other sectors, in spite of all these facilities, we are having this kind of increased number of incidences. Why? There must be some reason, right? So probably it is like we are just focusing, or we are our mind is programmed to think only in one way. It is not holistic. That's why we are missing many other important things also. So with this, I hope the session's aim was to emphasize on our agni, role of our agni, and the purpose of, ultimate purpose of our food. So I would like to summarize today's session. Let's remember the ultimate purpose of food, that is to survive and to provide nourishment to our Ayu. And Ayu is not just only body, it is a combination of body, senses, mind, and soul. So, our food, whatever we are eating, should provide nourishment, required nourishment by our body, by our senses, by our mind, and even to our souls. And it also provides strength and energy required for us to do anything. So this is the ultimate purpose of eating food, right? So we shouldn't forget it. Only then, only if we remember it, only then we can avoid eating unhealthy food, or getting yielded by uh, temporary temptations. And also let's remember these equations. Nutrition is equal to nourishing elements in food. That's all. It is there. All the protein, carbs, calcium, vitamins, all the nutritional elements that are present in the food. That is there. And its job is to nourish our body, mind, senses, and soul. But and to give strength, that is, we also call it as bala. In Kannada or Sanskrit also we call it as bala. So this nutrition present in the food has to get transformed. We cannot just put some elements, that is iron or calcium or some other nutrition, just like that, and it gets increased, right? So as soon as we drink a cup of milk, our calcium levels doesn't increase. Maybe after consuming it for probably 2 3 months, only then we can see some results changing, right? That means the same nutrition present in the food has to get transformed to the functional form inside our body. And if that transformation is failed for any reason, then this same nutrition can't nourish our body, mind, soul, and senses. And this transformation is done by our Agni at different levels. So don't just think if you are getting hunger and bowel movements, right? Your Agni is proper. If you have any nutritional deficit, there must be a problem at subtler levels of your Agni. So get analyzed by your Ayurveda doctors about it, and then you can correct your Agni. Then you can see the magic. You need not take the supplements as long as it is very much deficient. You need not take any supplement. If you correct your Agni, soon after that you will see improvement in symptom wise, and within few months your laboratory reports also show improvement. So that's the magic we often see in patients after treating the Agni right away. Hence, let's remember, we can unlock the nutrition present in the food only in the presence of good Agni. And how to maintain good Agni is by these means. Of course, you all told these answers. You already know that these answers: proper food at proper time in proper quantity, proper eating habits, proper physical activities, proper sleep, and a good conduct. All these help us in maintaining good Agni throughout, so that our Agni knows what we need. Even if we don't know what we need inside our body, our Agni will know what is required by us, how much is required by us, and when to send that required nourishment in which form. Our Agni is very smart and it knows everything. So it will do its job when it is maintained in proper form. So let's maintain Agni, and Agni will do other things for us. So with this, we'll conclude today's session. If you have any doubts, we can have a discussion now. Yes, Deepa ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ in chat box, I feel one should emphasize that Shadrasa Yukta Bhojana is applicable only for healthy individuals with good Agni, right? Those with any dosha related issues will have to avoid certain food groups that aggravate certain doshas. Is that right? Yes, it is right. Shadrasa Yukta Ahara is for healthy individuals, Swastha. If you have any imbalance in dosha or Agni, you first need to correct it, and then only you can take Shadrasa Yukta Ahara. But see, why did we tell about Shadrasa Yukta Ahara today in this topic, that is secrets behind nutritious food? What is the relationship between rasas, shadrasas, and nutrition? Have you ever thought in this perspective? Like Madhura Rasa increases bala. If I say carbs gives us energy, we all can relate. We all nod our head. Yes, yes, it is. It does. It does. But if I say Madhura Rasa will give us strength and stamina, then you will be like, is it? You will be like thinking, okay, that might be. So that is there we are standing. So we our minds are programmed to think only in one way, that is in terms of these terms, that is protein, carbs, all those things. And when we tell, okay, if you are feeling lack of energy, you must be having imbalance in vata dosha, so you have to take certain quality of Madhura Rasa Ahara. Like for example, it need not be a sweet from a bakery. Madhura Rasa Ahara need not be always a sweet dish bought from a bakery or some sweet shop. Even the rice itself is considered as Madhura Rasa Ahara. So, if a person is having Vata imbalance and if we keep on taking protein, that is the source from dals and lentils, all those things, if he keeps on taking those kind of food, he will get more vata imbalance, and that is not going to help him in the long run. Maybe because of some reasons he might think that it is helping him temporarily, seeing it one or other symptoms, he might think it is helping him, but on a long run it is not going to help him in any way. So this kind of restricted thinking we have to stop, and we have to think um, in terms of Agni and all other things also. My daughter is 16 years. She gets her periods only after 3 to 4 months. She is also under Ayurvedic treatment from 2 years, but still her periods are not getting regularly. Please suggest me. Okay. Is this problem happening ever since she got menarche, or is it from past few to 3 years? Because the answer depends on that. And of course, this case needs to be assessed, because it many other things needs to be assessed here. Her overall health, her agni, her dhatu pushti level, that is, um, dhatu gets its uh, completeness only at certain age, only when the food is right, only when her agni is right. So we need to assess her dhatu um, swasthya also, her health of her tissues, and also her food habits, her thinking pattern, all other things also we need to assess to be able to guide properly and specifically. You can contact us privately so that we can assess her uh, problem and give a right solution. Any other questions you have? ಹೇಳಿ ಅನುರಾಧ ಅವರೇ.
ನರ್ವ್ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್? ಸಡನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಡಾಟರ್ಗೆ ಒನ್ ಡೇ ಶಿ ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಂಬೂ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ, ಅದೇನೋ ಉಜ್ಜಿ ಬಂದ್ಲು, ತಲೆ ಸುತ್ತು, ಕೈ ನಡ್ಕ, ಕಾಲ್ ನಡ್ಕ, ಟಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂತ್ಲು.
ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದ್ರು?
ಬ್ಯಾಂಬೂ ಕಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್.
ಓಕೆ.
ಅವಳು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸೈನರು, ಶಿ ಮೇಡ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಬೂ. ಅದ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಹಂಗಾಯ್ತು ಅವಳಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೈ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ತಲೆ ಸುತ್ತು ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ತರ ಬಂತು ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ.
Okay, so I think again this needs to be assessed, this case, because it is not just the problem of nerve weakness. I don't think it is a problem with her nerves. How old she is now?
She's 22.
I don't think it's a problem with her nerves. Probably it is just dosha imbalance, a temporary dosha imbalance because of many reasons. I think we need to ask her few questions directly so that we can get more details about her condition and to be able to answer, give her proper solution.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay. Your opinion on Kosumri every day. Okay. Can you please ask that question? I want you to explain your question, Dr. Usha.
ಹಲೋ,
ಹೇಳಿ ಹುಷಾರೆ.
ಇದು ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ವಾತ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಓಕೆ.
ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಕೋಸಂಬರಿ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಕಾಯಿ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಶುಂಠಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀವಿ.
Okay, so coming to this particular dish, if we see the kalpana, specific kalpana, it is kind of uncooked form of eating lentils, right? And
Yeah.
also few vegetables like cucumber and carrot probably, or some other vegetables eaten raw. So this is kind of salads only. And uh, again, this is because of uncooked food, and this is because of it contains lentils in uncooked form. It is not advised to take it every day for everyone. ಹೂಎವರ್ ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಬ್ಬ ಹರಿದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಡಿಸುವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಡಿಸಿವಿ ಇಷ್ಟು, ಮೇ ಬಿ 1 ಸ್ಪೂನ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೂಎವರ್ ಲೈಕ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮ್ ಮೋರ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ತಿನ್ನಲೇಬಾರ್ದು, ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ತಿನ್ನಲೇಬಾರ್ದು, ಯಾರೂ ತಿನ್ನಲೇಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋ ತರಹ ಅಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೂ it is not a safe food item to be consumed by everyone every single day.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, I think there is no questions. Let's conclude today's session. I thank each one of you for actively participating in today's session too. It was very exciting to see all of your active participation and your exciting answers. So that keeps us motivated to do more in this programs, in such programs. Thank you everyone for spending time here. I hope this session was helpful for everyone. Let's conclude today's session with Swasti Mantra.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Swasti no mimita mashvina bhaga swasti devyaditirnarvanaha. Swasti pusha asuro dadhatuna. Swasti dyava prithvi suchetuna. स्वस्तये वायुमुपप्रवामहै सोमं स्वस्ति भुवनस्य यस्पतिः बृहस्पतिं सर्वगणं स्वस्तये स्वस्तय आदित्यासो भवन्तु नः विश्वे देवानो अद्य स्वस्तये वैश्वानरो वसुरग्निः स्वस्तये देवा अवन्तृभव स्वस्तये स्वस्ति नो रुद्रः पात्वं हसः स्वस्ति मित्रवरुण स्वस्ति पथ्ये रेवति स्वस्ति न इन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च स्वस्ति नो अदिते कृधि स्वस्ति पन्थामनुचरेम सूर्या चन्द्रमसा विव पुनर्दतताघ्नता जानता सङ्गमे महि स्वस्त्ययनं तार्क्ष्यमरिष्टनेमिं महद्भूतं वायसं देवतानाम् असुरघ्नमिन्द्रसखं समत्सु बृहद्यशो नावमिवारुहेम अम्होमुच माङ्गिरसं गयं च स्वस्त्यात्रेयं मनसा च ताक्ष्यम् प्रयतपाणिः शरणं प्रपद्ये स्वस्ति सम्बाधेष्वभयं नो अस्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः